Even though this may be a miss for a lot of Supreme fans, I think it's cool that they take the risk and do stuff that they think is cool. What's going on YouTube? Taylor Print is back here with another video. In this video I'm going to be talking about the week 10 drop list for Supreme, and with that being said, I think this is just a partial list. I don't think this is finished yet, so if the rest of the pieces come out before the drop, I'll hopefully upload part 2 to this video, or just add in the pieces to this video if I haven't uploaded this yet. So depending on when those come out, we'll see what I end up doing with that. But anyways, let's just go ahead and get right on into it. The big collab this week is with Gummo, which was a film released in 1997. I've actually never heard of the film or seen it. I've never heard of Harmony Korine either, which was the director, so a lot of this art in this collaboration is inspired by her, and some of the stuff is ripped directly from the film. It's just like screenshots. So looking at these pieces, I was not really a fan, and maybe it's just because I've never seen the movie, but I just don't think the pieces are that cool, and I don't think they translated very well with Supreme's fan base either. So you've got these like work jackets with some writing on the back, and then a little small like front chest logo, and I don't really ever love like Supreme items like this. I feel like they've done a lot like this. Kind of reminds me of like the Ralph Steadman stuff, just because it's one color print on both sides, and the logos just like look like they're drawn by a pencil. And I like the silhouette of these jackets, but the design aspect is just not there for me. And then we've got hoodies with a picture of like one of the main characters from Gummo. I'm pretty sure, like if you look up the movie, this is the image you see, or images of this kid against this like yellow platform. And I actually like the colors that they went with for these hoodies. I think the brown looks really good with the yellow, and I obviously like gray and black just because I like neutral colors, and then pink is always a good seller, I feel like. But I'm not sure what these say on the back. Like I said, on the jackets, I think they are the same thing, and I'm sure it's from the movie. So if you guys have seen the movie, obviously it'll probably mean a little bit more to you than the average Supreme customer. Next, we've got these like all over print jerseys, which are just never my thing. I don't typically really like all over print or like whole front print type of things. This is just the front panel, so it's not all over print, but it's got that like I forget what they called it, some sort of dye, how they do this. But I am not a fan of these types of items. I feel like they're just too loud, and I am not gonna wear a football jersey that's like not an actual NFL team, I don't think, at this point in my life. And it says Gummo on the back, so people probably think you're like a big 6ix9ine fan or something. So this piece, hard pass for me. Just kind of like the rest of the pieces from this collaboration, there just wasn't many items that I was really feeling like that. Looking at these, we've got a couple more pieces. We've got these t-shirts and skateboards down here. So yeah, here's a little bit better look at these pieces. I'm on Drops by Jay's Instagram, and I've also got Sub Community and Drops GG pulled up. So all these guys are great for early drops. But these t-shirts, like we've got more just screen captures from the movie, it looks like. And yeah, like I kind of like this one where it's got like the picture, and then it's got the writing around it. I think this is like a cool design, but at the same time, like the image doesn't really capture me because I haven't seen the movie. So I feel like this collaboration was really just dependent on if you've seen the movie and like what kind of nostalgia that brings you. It does seem like the artwork is pretty cool, and the director probably did a good job of like building that art style in the movie. So I think maybe this should be on my watch list. I'll have to see if it's on any streaming platforms that I have. But yeah, right now, just looking at the pieces is not something that I'm interested in. But I think that's one of the coolest things about Supreme is like it's gonna make me go look up this movie and maybe even watch it. So it's just, Supreme is really cool about putting you on to stuff that you're unfamiliar with. Even though this may be a miss for a lot of Supreme fans, I think it's cool that they take the risk and do stuff that they think is cool, because obviously like this inspired somebody at Supreme. So yeah, it's just cool to see them like do what they think is cool and not just what they think will be received well by their audience. And with that being said, we are getting into more of the normal clothes. This first and second pieces are actually collaborations too, And the first one we have here is a mirror, and I'm pretty sure this mirror is actually pretty big, and it's got these two little like angels up on the top wearing Supreme box logo hoodies. And I love this piece. This is so hard. If I had a ton of money, I would buy it. This piece is like 6 racks, so definitely out of my budget. I actually plan on showing the prices later in this video, so if you're like wondering what those are, just stay tuned till the end. We'll get into all that. But yeah, this for $6,000, not something I could afford, but I do love that they did this. It would have been cool to see this released on Easter, or like before Easter, because I feel like this is like some Easter type of stuff. But I don't know who the brand Miasin is either, so if you guys are familiar with them, let me know down below. They're probably like one of the coolest mirror companies in the world that I've just never heard of. And moving on, we've got these Silver Surfer leather jackets, which I think are amazing. Leather jackets are not something that I really would ever wear. It's not something I feel like I could work into my style like that, but I love these for some reason. As you guys can tell, it's got like really font indentations on the back where it has Supreme going across, and then the Silver Surfer logo is just really cool, and the front logo is really cool too, in my opinion. I feel like we'll see some really cool outfits. This is another piece from Supreme that feels like just New York to the bone, and I love seeing like these types of pieces from them because it obviously is Supreme New York, and I think New York fashion is the best that there is, really. Obviously, like Asian inspiration is pretty cool too, but as far as fashion in the world goes, I think New York has an unlock. So seeing pieces that are like really New York like this just give me like a warm feeling inside, even though they're not something that I personally would wear. And then we've got these like contrast stitch hoodies and sweatpants. I think these are pretty ugly, to be honest. I think maybe if they used less lines, it would have been cool. Maybe if they just did like where the stitching actually was rather than adding more stitching, I think this could have been all right. But either way, I feel like these just look pretty cheap, and I don't really like any of the colorways. Obviously, if I had to pick one, I'm going black and white because that's just who I am. But yeah, I wouldn't wear any of these pieces, I don't think, even if I was giving them for free. They're a big miss for me. And moving on, we've got these Jacquard shirts with S monogram logo all over them, and these are a piece that leaves something to be desired. I feel like they're all right, and I feel like this orange one's pretty cool, but the pink and black ones really aren't doing it for me. And yeah, these are pretty much just something I could never see myself wearing. Like, they're all right, they're not the worst pieces I've seen, but they just don't get me riled up at all, and I have no interest in them really. And then moving on, we've got these like sweater type of shirts, and I actually kind of like this black and white one. I think it's pretty cool and pretty clean. I can see like Tyler the Creator wearing something cool with this, like mixing it with the Gulf Wing or whatever. But these two other colorways I'm not feeling. Maybe this purple and brown one will be all right once I see like the full shirt, but this like seafoam green and blue one is just hideous. I think both of these shirts are something I probably wouldn't go out of my way to buy, but I actually do like this white and black one. Just not really like, it's one of those pieces where I'm like, oh, I like that piece a lot, I would wear it, but then I'd buy it and not actually wear it. So I've kind of learned to stop myself from buying that kind of stuff. And then we've got like more of the Gummo stuff that I've already touched on. And then moving on, we've got jeans. So they've got these like light wash jeans, they've got some like raw denim, and then they've got a white pair. And these are alright. I mean, they've got like a Supreme logo on the back. I'm just not someone who's gonna buy like normal jeans from Supreme. I feel like there's a lot of better alternatives for probably better prices, or at least similar prices. And then last, we've got these Gore-Tex leather hats, and we've got this crystal leveler that didn't actually drop last time. And then we got more of these like interesting kind of like mesh fabric hats. So getting into these hats, like I said, we've got these Gore-Tex leather ones, and I don't know, just the paneling on these is not appealing. These are maybe 5-panel hats, I think, and yeah, just I don't like 5-panel hats, and the fact that they're leather makes them look even kind of weirder, I think. But I like the idea of having leather box logo hats, and obviously anything Gore-Tex is probably gonna be really good quality. So if these interest you, you probably can't go wrong for it, but just not for my personal taste. And then these hats down here, these flat bills, I think the fabrics that they're using on these new Supreme hats are really interesting. There was hats like this last week with a similar material, and I think these are really cool. I feel like just nice to see them do stuff with materials that aren't as well known or as well used on stuff like hats. Seems cool that they're incorporating like new technologies into their clothes rather than just like playing it safe and doing a bunch of items that they already have and have used silhouettes from. So yeah, I don't like love these, but I do like the older Supreme logo. I'm not a big flat bill guy. I'm more of like a trucker hat, and Supreme, oddly enough, like never really releases trucker hats, I feel like. So these are a pass for me, but I think these are one of the cooler items this week. And I think as we move into this spring summer, like these further weeks, I think it'll be cool to keep on seeing what innovation that Supreme is doing with these hats, because like I said, it is really cool what they've done here this week and last week, and I'll have to go back and see if other weeks they've done it too over the spring summer collection. But it's just a really cool fabric that's unique and something that I haven't seen before, so that kind of stuff always piques my interest. But with that being said, that's about it for this drop. I'm gonna go ahead and get on into the prices of stuff, and you guys can go check out this page here. It's DropsGG on Instagram, but I'm not gonna go ahead and just read you guys off all the prices because you can just look at them. It's probably a little bit quicker. Pretty much everything is on par with what I expected. I feel like this leather jacket is a little more expensive than I had expected, but it is a full leather jacket, so $800, pretty reasonable. The mirror, like I said, about $6,000. Way more expensive than I would have guessed. I would have guessed like $2,000 or $3,000, but yeah, out of my budget either way. So yeah, this week I think is one of the weakest weeks from Supreme that I've seen. Hopefully the pieces that haven't been dropped yet are going to come out and be solid, but looking at this collection, I'm just not excited, and there isn't any pieces that I'll be trying to pick up. And with that being said, I don't think there's any pieces that will do well on resale either. So if you're someone who's looking to resell pieces, I would sit this one out just like last week. I don't think there's many pieces that are going to sell out super quick or just have a lot of hype behind them. I think maybe the leather jackets will sell out pretty quick just because they are leather and they're expensive to manufacture. But I think because there's a limited quantity doesn't mean that there'll be a lot of hype or like people will really want them or be willing to pay resale for them. So I would just avoid this week if you're looking for that resale bag. But if you're interested in the movie Gummo, obviously this is going to be a pretty good week for you, and you probably should be able to get a lot of these pieces because, like I said earlier, I don't think Supreme's main fan base is going to be familiar with that movie. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Huge shout out to Drops by Jay, DropsGG, sub community, and obviously Supreme for supplying me with all this info. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this and want to see more videos like this in the future, hit that like and subscribe if you could. I would really appreciate it, and we will see you next time. Have a good one.